Yo, what's going on, man? Today is October the 24th. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show, day number 3 in the NBA. We got a long way to go. 9 more months of basketball. I'm here for it, man. Super duper here for it. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. As always, I do got the Twitter spaces open today outside of the YouTube channel. If you guys, I'm not going to be able to host a Twitter space every day. I already know that. So I'm just being honest and realistic, trying to set some expectations for myself and others. If you're interested in hearing my looks and my thoughts on the game, definitely if you're part of the Twitter spaces right now, definitely jump over on YouTube so you can just be locked in with everything that's going on. A lot of my insight and information is shared over on YouTube and not as much on Twitter anymore. So let's jump into it, man. We got 4 games on the board for today. Excited to jump into them. Not really liking too much on the board for today, but excited to share looks and kind of let you guys know what I'm thinking about the games as well. So I'll go through. I'll give you guys my quick handicap on the game, let you know what I'm thinking about it, and then we'll move on to the Twitter spaces where everybody else can kind of share their looks and what they're thinking about the games as well. If you got plays, feel free to send me a request. Share up. I'll get up as many people as I possibly can, probably in the next 45 minutes. And then we'll get up out of here, man. Likes, retweets, all that stuff is appreciated, but not necessary. I know some people just lurking, but we appreciate y'all for coming in too. Let's jump into it for today. Yesterday, just a quick recap. I didn't have time to go through and count up all of the winnings as far as from a unit perspective, but we did go 4-1. Benedict Mathurin over his 11.5 points was my favorite prop. Thought that was a tad bit too low to begin the season. Knew Rick Carlisle would use him a lot. He did. He played a lot of the third and fourth quarter. Cavs -6, easiest bet that we probably going to get all season. Orlando +2, probably the easiest bet that we're going to get all season. Did take Phoenix live as well at the end of the third quarter before they went down double digits in the fourth quarter like some idiots. But they were able to win the game. So that money line cash last night, sent that out to the members live in the YouTube channel. And Chicago +6 was the only loser I had yesterday. They started strong, but looked terrible for the overall. So 4-3 on the season after starting the regular season 0-2 on opening night. See if we can build on that and keep it going. So I'll go through a couple of the comments as I always do over on YouTube, and then we'll jump into the 4 games for today. What up, Gerson? Appreciate you for tapping in. Feels good to see that name back in the chat. What's up, King? Predictions. David says, good afternoon, my brother. Excited to get year number 3 started with you, bro. Right back at you, David. Right back at you, bro. J Chip says Houston did bad last night, blowing that lead. Yeah, but Charlotte's gonna be good, man. That's why I couldn't quite get there. Charlotte's gonna be a lot better. I'm kind of kicking myself. I think LaMelo's gonna have a great season. Coach Charles Lee wants him to shoot a ton of threes, and that's exactly what he did. I think he got up like 12 or 13 yesterday, hit 4 of them. So he went up and over the number. Almost had a 30-point triple-double last night, too. Shout out to LaMelo, man. If he can stay healthy, Charlotte's probably going to be in that play-in conversation for sure out in the Eastern Conference. So, and they don't even got Mark Williams back yet. And Houston had a strong home court advantage last season. David says, smash the like button. Helps Chris on the home screen of YouTube. And it definitely does, David. I appreciate that. Santiago, good afternoon to you, my brother. Solo says, Chris, we're back. What's up, man? What's up, James? Manny says, bro, I just got some slips in because I thought you wasn't going live today. Yeah, I was going live the whole day, man. I can't not talk NBA. This is what I do, man. What's up, Prolific? Appreciate you for reaching out, making sure your boy was okay. Chris ain't go live this morning. What's going on? Appreciate you for touching base with me, Prolific. Everything is good on my end, bro. It really, really is. What's up, Cool? Back in the chat. Aaron in here as well. Mitchell in here. Itachi in here. What's up, Itachi? My guy, hope all is well with you, Itachi. What's up, Mark? What's up, Chad? Bro, the whole gang in here. S-Dot in here. Yeah, Chad says Hornets going to be a cash cow. Right there with you. Right there with you. What's up, Nard? Exactly, says San Antonio +8.5. We're going to get there in a second. And yeah, let's jump into it, man. We're talking too much about stuff that don't matter. Let's go. First game up, we got the Boston Celtics and the Washington Wizards. Game we played in DC tonight. This line I think was 13, even on game day 1 for the Boston Celtics. It's moved now. Looks like it's been pushed to 14. It's interesting because I saw 12.5 last night. So the Wizards' first game of the season. Books think that they get smoked. I also probably think that they get smoked. I'm not laying this big of a number with the Celtics on the road, though. Boston has won 8 of the last 10 games versus the Wizards. They won all 4 games last season. They won all 4 games last season, and they covered 3 of them. The only one they didn't cover, the Celtics, crazy, it's not a misprint. I'm not about to say anything false. The game that the Celtics didn't cover against the Wizards, they were laying 18 points. That was the one they didn't cover. That might have been the biggest spread we saw all season last year. So I don't really have a lot on the game. Just going through the injury report, I know Malcolm Brogdon, who they traded Deni Avdija for over the course of the offseason, will not be a part of this game. That definitely hurts if you like the Washington Wizards. They do have a little bit more rebounding now with Jonas Valanciunas. He's going to have to move his feet because we know everybody from the Boston Celtics can shoot threes. I'm pretty sure they're going to try to pull him out the paint. Alex Sarr starting at the power forward position. I'm excited to see what that looks like. Bilal Koulibaly, him being in the starting rotation is going to be interesting. I think I saw his points prop at like 8.5. And Jordan Poole, I'm not a Jordan Poole guy. I was actually looking at his under. Don't think I'm going to get there just because Boston may play fast. These are also the games that Boston don't really care about, which is why I can't lay the big number with them. That opening day game you could tell that meant a lot to the Celtics. They almost broke the record. I was looking at my model, just kind of collecting data, and Boston had an offensive rating. Their points per possession was 164.6. Like sometimes you see that like for a half, like if a team gets really, really hot, they score like 85, 90 points in the first half, like a Indiana Pacers team. I don't think I've ever seen a number that big before. 164.6 points per 100 possessions is what Boston had against the New York Knicks the other day. We don't expect the Wizards defense to be any better. You just kind of expect the Boston not to make every shot that they shoot. I think they shot like 60+% from the 3-point line in that game. And it was, they didn't turn the ball over. I low-key kind of talking myself into taking Boston, but I'm not laying 14 points here. I do kind of feel like typically when you see those good of an offensive game, like there is some regression that comes no matter who the opponent is. So I guess that does kind of make me lean towards the under. The Wizards do play fast. That kind of makes me think that the game could go over. So I don't really have too strong of a look in this game. I think if it's anything that I'm playing when I was going through I'm not playing the side. I'm not playing the total, at least not live, at least not pregame. But I think if I am playing anything here, I would probably just look at Derek White. I think I kind of, kicked myself the other day for not playing Derek White. He's out there. He's going to shoot a bunch of threes. I think his 3-point prop is 3.5. You could have got 2.5 in game 1. And I want to say it was at plus money. I think I saw this at like -1 at plus 125. So I guess if there's anything that I'm playing, I would be looking towards Derek White. Like I feel like Tatum doesn't necessarily have to have the 37-point game that he just had. Derek White threes are I thought I had threes up real quick. Let me just go to this 3-point prop real quick. Derek White threes are let's see if I can get an update. Internet moving like I got dial-up over here, man. Come on. Let's see. I know I saw that plus money. Just interested to see what the line is, and feels like it's going slower than it's ever gone before. I'm over on OddsJam. Typically don't have any problems here. Let's see if I can find it real quick. All right, Derek White threes, 3.5 at plus 145. I think he hit like 4 or 5. Even if the team regresses from the 3-point line, I think his looks will be open based on Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, penetrating, getting to the rim. Peyton Pritchard over his 1.5 threes, I think is also enticing. You can get that at -120, it looks like on Fnatic, -125 on DraftKings, whereas BetMGM got it at -140. So I think Peyton Pritchard gets a lot of burn today. Sam Hauser get a lot of burn today. I couldn't talk anybody off some Luke Cornett props. That's what I'm looking at for this game. Let's see what you guys are thinking. I didn't bet anything, though. Not the most attractive game on the board, in my opinion. Mark says, I got to sleep in today. Yeah, we did get to chill today. What up, S-Dot? Appreciate you for tapping in. He says he's locked in Westbrook over his 3.5 assists. Easiest bet of the day. I don't think I could talk you off of that. King Prediction says, what do you think about the Celtics -9.5? Where you get a -9.5 from? That's probably first half line. King Prediction. Unless you put it in a parlay, I definitely don't buy points in the NBA. So I do think the Celtics win the game by 10, but it's not anything that I'm betting. Christian likes Celtics -13.5, OKC +2, Kings +2.5, and the Spurs +8.5. We'll see how that goes. Cool. Here we go. He says he likes Peyton Pritchard over his points, rebounds, and assists at 15.5. Banking on another blowout here after the Celtics shot the lights out versus the Knicks. I think I agree with that. Christian says under here. Markel likes Drew Holiday to get 2 steals. What's up, Mitch? Hope all is well with you, bro. Been a minute. Hope all is well with you. Yeah, he says the same thing. Hope all is well with you, Chris. Yeah, I saw your Raptors. It's a bye year for your Raptors this year, Mitch. Bye year for your Raptors this year, man. Thoughts on Kumbawais? What kind of stat line you predicting for him? I honestly don't know, Chewy. I think he's gonna be good this year. I do expect him to take a leap. He's in the starting rotation now. But this I just need to. I kind of got to get some data points for the Washington Wizards. Like how often, what's the rotation gonna be? How many minutes these starters gonna get? Like I think all of those things are reasons why I don't really have a play for this game. I'm not just betting just to bet. You guys been around long enough. Y'all know that already. I'm not just putting out bets. What's up, GLB? Appreciate you for tapping in. Coop says it's Jaylen Brown's birthday today. I did not know that. Shout out to Jaylen. I didn't know Jaylen's birthday today. So the day the 24th. I think he almost made it to be a Scorpio. My birthday on Monday. So me and Jaylen Brown, I don't know. I didn't think I know his birthday was that close. Christian likes Tatum to go under 28.5. So a little bit of regression for him. I couldn't talk you up Tatum to go under 28.5 because he probably won't need 29 points. The problem is it's the Wizards. So boy. Let's see. Atachi says thoughts on Boston team total over. I noticed they went up and over their team total in all 4 matchups last season. Yeah, I think first half is what I would be looking at. Atachi, just in case they don't, like that fourth quarter, you saw them trying to break the record the other day. They really struggled. They missed like 14 straight threes. So if the game does turn into a blowout, it could be, to the point where Boston doesn't need to score the ball. They got all the bench in again. And, they're just not playing, super hard. And some of those bench players can't shoot threes as good as the starters can. Let's see. LJ likes Boston first half. He said, what we doing? Let's see. What's the best first half number for Boston? Probably like 8.5. Yeah, 8.5 for Boston minus 105. Not anything I'm gonna play here. Could be a little bit of a letdown for Boston. I know that their light years better than the Wizards. Don't get it twisted. And if I had to bet the spread, it would be Boston. I'll lay the points for Boston, but I won't be on this one. If Boston starts slow, I will be on Boston in some way, shape, or form, though. Don't worry about that. Mark says he got a Boston minus 7 for the first half. So he's staying with the play. Think they have probably a double-digit lead at halftime. David says I like Peyton Pritchard double-double as a lotto. Okay. It's a flag year, Mitch says. Yeah, it's definitely a Cooper flag year. Plant your flag early for Mr. Cooper flag, for sure. I agree with that, Mark. Mitch. Let's see. What else? GLB says he like Corey Kispert in this spot, over 10.5 points. Corey Kispert gonna get buckets this year. I do think so, man, especially when Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma sitting on the bench. Let's move over to the next game. We got San Antonio and in Dallas. Game will be played in Dallas today. I think this. I don't know what the. Let's just double check. Let's see what the opening line was. Looks like 8.5 was the opening line. I swear I saw 7.5 last night though. So 8.5 definitely wasn't the opening line. It's 8.5 now. It's up to 9 on a couple books. The total has come down from 233 all the way down to 228.5, 229, and that's what I kind of like here. So I'll just go through that's what if I was playing anything, it would be the total in this game. I do think it's a little bit of an under game here. I want to just get to my notes real quick and let you guys know what I had written down. So starting with the injury report, Devin Vassell is out. I think he has a stress fracture in one of his legs, and one of his feet. And then so that's a lot of offense. Devin Vassell is, got paid last year. I mean, he's like one of the guys for the San Antonio Spurs team to go with Victor Wembanyama. You also got Dante Exum out on the Dallas side. Going back to look at the matchup last season, Dallas won all 4 games. They covered the first 3 spreads of the season as well. So they've kind of owned this, the Spurs team, that whole Texas triangle thing with these 2 teams and the Houston Rockets. But my lean towards this game, not a lot of data to go off of, it would be towards the under. I think Luka, hasn't played meaningful basketball in quite some time. He missed the whole preseason, of course. And like Luka is one of those special players that just, can easily slide back out there and look just like himself. But It wouldn't surprise me if he had a little rust in this game. That would not surprise me at all. I'm expecting Wemby to be a factor on the defensive end. Like, a lot of people got him in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. He took the summer to work on a lot of fundamentals. It sounds like. So I couldn't, I could see this game being I wouldn't say a rock fight, but the Dallas team for me specifically is a very, very good defensive team, and especially if their shots aren't falling. Klay at this point in his career, in my opinion, is a shell of himself. Like, I don't expect Klay to be great. He'll get looks. It depends on if he knocks him down or not. And the Mavs did go out and get some other 3-point shooters. They got Spencer Dinwiddie, who returns, Najee Marshall, who's a defensive player. So yeah, I say all that to say that, I think even with the total coming down, I would be looking towards the under 229 if I was betting this game. Unders at the beginning of the season are kind of spooky, but if I could have got a hold of a 233, I would probably definitely be on the under here. Didn't play the game. I think it's a lot of different ways you guys could probably. I know a lot of people looking for a bet on Wemby or already got a bet on Wemby. I couldn't talk anybody off that. His rebounds, his points plus rebounds. I think PRA in general. What's Wemby PRA? Let's just go to it real quick and check it out. Wemby is set at 40.5 points, rebounds, and assists for Victor Wembanyama. So let's see if we have any data on Mr. Victor Wembanyama last year against this team. Pretty sure I can find this pretty quickly. All right, Victor Wembanyama last season, his points set at 24.5. That's a pretty high number. Books got him jacked up. So head-to-head wise, he played against the Mavs 3 times last season. I think one of them was on opening night. Yeah, one of them was on opening night. The game that went to overtime. They lost that game by 7. But he had 22 in the first matchup, which was his first game of the season. Only played 23 minutes. He had 40, and he had 26. So, I mean, the books have completely inflated this number. We are expecting his minutes to go up, though. A lot of people think Victor will play a few more minutes. I think he played less than 30 minutes last season. So, yeah, I'm expecting Victor to show out tonight, man. I think the other guy that's a tad bit interesting to me, and probably it feels like he's getting overlooked just a tad bit. I'm pretty close to getting there on him, but I haven't pulled the trigger quite yet. And that's in this game specifically, that's Keldon Johnson. He was sitting at 12.5. I see the numbers going up now to 13.5. I don't like it as much at 13.5, but Keldon Johnson is going to be the 6th man for this team. Coming off the bench, we know he can fill it up. He can get downhill. He can shoot the ball as well. If he gets hot, I expect Coach Popovich to be able to ride with him. So I like Keldon Johnson in this spot. He was the one guy that I was kind of targeting, thinking that people were probably going after the star players and really not, probably paying too much attention to him. So I'd be looking towards Keldon Johnson in this spot, up and over 12.5. Or I'm sorry, 13.5 points now. It looks like it is plus money, but it looks like that line is moved to push it up to 13.5. So I'm guessing a lot of people are on Devin Vassell today. I mean Keldon Johnson today, but it makes a ton of sense to me. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. I'm rambling. I'm talking too much. Oh, I would take the points here with the Spurs. I absolutely would. Just thinking about, I haven't mentioned that, but I see somebody said it in the chat. I talked about Luka not being there. This Dallas team is going to be good. That don't mean that they're going to win the first game by double digits. I think San Antonio's going to be a little bit better. I'm interested to see how many minutes Coach Popovich plays Chris Paul in this first game of the season. But I think this is going to be like a much better defensive team. We got some veteran leadership with Harrison Barnes. Jeremy Sohan, I think, takes another step. Like, this will be a developmental year for the Spurs, but they could potentially make some noise here. So I would be taking the points with the Spurs if I was playing the spread at all in this one. I'm not looking towards laying with Dallas, a big number without their star player playing in the preseason at all. CP3 assists, only 7.5, what the culture says. The only thing that keeps me off of CP3 assists is like how many minutes is CP going to play in the first game? Like, it would not surprise me if he didn't get there. The minutes wise, I don't know how many assists he's going to have, but it wouldn't surprise me at all. This is a game that Dallas played slow last year. San Antonio played fast, so that keeps me off of, the what I'm thinking the pace can be. Who knows? Team prediction says Dallas wins by 15. Wemby under 4.5 blocks, Alon says. Okay. Jay Trinidad says, appreciate all you do. I appreciate you showing the appreciation, Jay Trinidad. What up, Cover Joe? Mitch says, yo, Chris, for the next game, do you know why Minnesota total jumped from 227 to 221? couldn't figure out that between like 4 and 6 a.m. this morning. I don't know, Mitch. I think that total was a little bit high. If we think about San Antonio, I was Sacramento. We'll get to this game in a second. I was thinking about Sacramento. Not that it's going to be completely the same this season, but when you look at Sacramento last year, remember we were cashing unders with this team last year, specifically after the All-Star break. Now they were without some key pieces. Kevin Huerter got hurt. He ended up getting surgery. Of course, no Malik Monk was there. But last season, after the All-Star break, this Kings team really relied on their defense. They were 32, 24, and 1 to the under. That's about 58% to the under were they. And if you add that they were at home last season, they were 15 and 15. Also, the other thing that really shocked me the other day, Mitch, I was on Minnesota team total over against my Lakers. I thought the game would be played at a fast pace. It was not. Minnesota offense, it's going to take some time to adjust with having Julius Randle out there. You don't have Karl-Anthony Towns, who, in my opinion, has a better offensive skill set. Definitely a more efficient player than Julius Randle. So I think that's a piece of it. And we'll see if the Kings buy into defense, but I'm pretty sure that's what Mike Brown, for the third year in a row, is going to be, harping on for that team. So I guess those are my thoughts. 6 points is a lot of points, though. I would agree with you there. But the Kings, we just saw this Minnesota team really struggle against the Lakers, and they don't have a lot of plus defenders out there. I thought the Lakers were going to get cooked. I thought D'Angelo Russell was food on defense. I thought that, Austin Reeves was going to be food on defense. Dalton Connect, when he was out there, going to be food on defense. Bron not playing that much defense, but we saw something different. So I'm not sure what to do with the total in this game. But we'll get to the game a little bit more in a second. Markel says he likes CP3 to be the assist leader in the game today. So over Luka, I guess, and over Kyrie, but those will probably be the only three in that department. And maybe even Victor. I think Victor rebounds plus assists probably would be something that I'm going to be playing a couple times this season, especially with his points prop seeming a little bit inflated to start the season. Let's see. Yo, Fang, what is this, dog? Let me put you in timeout, man. We're not here to talk about politics. Luka is not out, King. He will play today. Derek likes Luka over his 8.5 rebounds, and he averaged 11 versus San Antonio last season through 4 games. Okay. Mitch says waiting on the FanDuel prop. Wemby bucket assist. Wemby bucket assisted by CP3 between 11:59 and 9-minute mark in the first quarter. Okay. That's going to be a hell of a market, Mitch, where you can get somebody to score between the 12-minute mark and the 9-minute mark, so the first 3 minutes of the first quarter. I like it. I couldn't talk you over that. Nice little sprinkle there. What's up, Kilo? Appreciate you for tapping in. LJ says Chris Paul, Wemby pick and roll, going to be nasty, and I agree with that. Going to be difficult to see what happens there. Kilo, you must have got that -2.5 with Memphis last night. Says he missed out. Grizzlies did him dirty. I think it was Lauri Markkanen. I was watching the game. Lauri Markkanen hit a 3, I think, late to push it to 2. And I told you guys yesterday, man, Memphis is going to be good this season, but with no Jared Jackson Jr., it's something about you playing at Utah, man. I'm not ready to fade that team a lot at all at the crib. On the road, yeah. At home, nah, not as much. The altitude will really get you. Mark says CP3 and Wemby work the pick and roll all summer. Luka always shows up out of shape. That we can agree to, Mark. We agree with that. Mitch, reminding everybody hit the like button. Morella says, I took over 221 Minnesota-Sacramento game around noon today. And Christian says, I'm late, but how you feel about the Celtics visit under 232? I don't really have any strong feelings, Christian. I think I'm going to try to play it live. I'll see, if it starts off really fast or if it starts off really slow. I don't think Boston's going to shoot the ball that well from the three-point line again. And I say that with, extreme caution, just because the Knicks 3-point defense I think is going to be better than the Wizards 3-point defense. That's for sure. But it's hard to shoot that well. I was watching the game. I tweeted it. It's hard to shoot that well from the three-point line, even if you just getting practice shots. It literally looked like Steph was warming up the other day, watching Boston just explode. Against this Knicks team. So I don't anticipate it happening like that again. 132 points is crazy, and they didn't even get to 20 in the fourth quarter. Well, they didn't even get to 20. They got to 19 in the fourth quarter. But they shot, what was it? 47.5%, and they missed 14 in a row. Like, I just don't think that's going to happen again. I know the Wizards, they typically give it up in the paint, if you remember last year. And now that you have Valanciunas, maybe that helps a little bit, but I mean, he ain't really stopping nobody. Markel says one of these games Wemby getting that quadruple double. I would bet on that too. I agree. Limestone says y'all think Victor Wembanyama was talking about Luka with that quote about players not working hard? I think he probably talking about everybody, in my opinion. Limestone says Wemby double in a win plus 380. I don't know if they're gonna win, but the double does sound enticing. All right, let's keep it moving on to the next one. What's up, AOD? I appreciate you in the chat. So we got Timberwolves and we got Kings. Again, we played in Sacramento. I think this one actually opened with Sacramento they were laying a point in this game. And now we've seen a flip of favors. Yeah, they were laying one and now getting one. Also getting 1.5, depending on where you're shopping. And the total has come down. Like Mitch said in the chat, 227.5 down to 221.5. So a lot of people like the under in this spot, thinking that we see a little bit slower pace and a good defensive game. I'll tell you guys this. When I was going through my notes last night for this game, the thing that really stood out to me in this one, give me 1 second. Let me double check. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure I wasn't missing. The thing that stood out to me in this game, and it is different lineups, right? Like Sacramento, they now have DeMar DeRozan, who's going to be thrust into the rotation. Kevin Huerter back. Keegan Murray, I'm a big fan of. And you got Sabonis at the center. Like I really, really like this team. I think Sacramento can get the job done today. I really want to bet Sacramento, especially with Fox being back out there. I think they're going to shoot the ball well. I think, having DeRozan, it gives them some mid-range, which is something they struggled with last year. They were a very three and layup type team. I feel like Sacramento got a lot to prove after missing the playoffs last year. But, winning, beating, getting to the playoffs the year before. I kind of think, I know Minnesota's going to be fired up, motivated, especially after losing to the Lakers the other day, but I think Sacramento can get the job done, maybe light the beam here. It's not something that I bet. And, just looking at the trends, talking about last night, when I was looking into it, each road team has actually won on the opposite team's home court in the last 3 matchups. I remember these from last season. One of the games I think Karl Anthony Towns wasn't a part of. Minnesota still won. Sacramento went back to Minnesota. They won on their home court. So the back and forth kind of scares me just a tad bit. Both of these teams going to be working on trying to figure out like who's going to be doing what for the team. So Minnesota's still trying to, like I said, get Julius Randle a little more activated. Hopefully, what's his name? Dante DiVincenzo can play a little bit better off the bench. He didn't have a significant role. And then on the Sacramento side, like I said, this will be the first game where we see DeMar DeRozan kind of acclimated, and Kevin Huerter coming back off that shoulder injury, I think it was from last season. So, not a game that I'm gonna be playing a lot of props in either. If it's one that I like the most, it's probably gonna be Sabonis. I think he's a better rebounder than AD. And AD just, cleaned up the glass really, really nice. The total coming down probably equals a few more misses in the game as well. I think Sabonis rebounds is like 12.5. Not big on playing a bunch of rebounds prop early into the season, but I mean, he was the leading rebounder in the NBA last season. And I think the number is would not surprise me. Sabonis finished with 14 or 15 rebounds in this game. So if there's anything that I'm playing in this one, that's probably what I'm playing. Pretty square play, but I think that's the way that I'm looking in this one if I'm playing anything. Like I said, lean towards Sacramento. I think they get the job done, even though Minnesota will be fired up, motivated after coming off that loss against the Lakers the other day. Also didn't have to travel far, right, from LA to Sacramento. So Sabonis, 12.5 rebounds is plus 100 on Bet365. Anybody interested and want to get involved there? Let's go through the comments real quick, see what you guys think about this one, and then we'll move over to the last game. I'll go through, if you guys got requests, plays you want to share, questions you want to ask on Twitter, just shoot me a what's it called? A request over on Twitter, and we'll get to those as well. AOD says, what you think about my Pistons, bro? Pistons gonna be good, man. I think I watched that game in its totality last night because I had Ben Mather points, and it was the first game that started. And I really do I like that team. I like that Pistons team a lot, man. They play defense. Like Indiana got hot. The only reason Indiana covered the spread was because they got super hot in the fourth quarter. The Pistons couldn't buy a shot. But the Pistons probably should have covered last night. I think they ended up not covering by 1 point, ended up losing by 6. Spread was 4.5. And I talked about the Pistons being good this year. I think they're gonna be a lot better than people think. Kate Cunningham looked like he's playing with a chip on his shoulder. I like him. I like him a lot. I'm ready to make some money with him too. Cubba Joe says random facts about the Boston Celtics game. Do you feel as though Boston could win every quarter and cover minus 3.5? They would. They love blowing the fourth. They do because the bench be in. Then it's like more like level playing field. Their starters are like through the roof, man. Their starting five is crazy. Coop likes Dante DiVincenzo in this spot, taking him over 17.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I think it's a bounce back spot for the Timberwolves' new 6th man, who also had beef with the Kings from years ago. I like that angle, Coop. I like that angle a lot. Nice bounce back spot for Dante DiVincenzo after sucking it up the other night against my Lakers. That makes a ton of sense. Points, rebounds, and assists. He is playing backup point guard behind Mike Conley Jr. too. So cannot talk you off of that look at all. Coop. I like that. Let's see. David says, imagine Randall chasing Keegan around the gym. Keegan Murray gonna be running around like a chicken with his head cut off, trying to get away from Julius Randle, get some wide open threes. Derek likes De'Aaron Fox over 22.5. Says he averages 31.5 versus Minnesota in 2 games last season. That's a nice little look right there, Derek. I like that. GLB says, I don't have many NBA systems yet, but I cashed the Houston game under last night with this one. Not active today, but check it out. So looking at a team since the 2020 season, which I would take 2020 out, GLB, just because that was the COVID year. But this says since the 2020 season, including it, teams that are on the road that previously won by 30, and then they have a total that's above 225 or higher. Okay, I'll check it out. I will bookmark that, GLB, and I'll get back to it. I don't really have a lot of system trends either. It was a couple unders that cashed. I didn't play them yesterday. Didn't talk about them on the shows either. But it was a couple unders. So the first one was I'll just mention them real quick. I looked at it was the Indiana-Detroit game, under 233. I looked at teams that lost more than 55 games last season. They were home dogs getting more than 5 points. And we're getting less than 5 points. 5 points or less. Home dog game 1 after losing a total of 55 games or more last season. Those teams were 20-3 to the under, 87%. So it's probably up to like 88, 89%, dating all the way back to 1996. I forgot to share that yesterday on the show, but that was one of the systems that I had active for yesterday. I haven't even run systems for today yet, but it's probably not going to be anything that I like. Appreciate you sharing, GLB. I'll check this out. Chris, you think Dante gets 11.5? We missed last game. I think Dante. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he had like another, like low-scoring game, and it takes him a couple games to get going. But yeah, for people betting on Dante, I wouldn't talk you guys off today. Not talk you guys off at all. David says, I love hearing Keegan everything today. I love Keegan everything today. Points ladder and threes ladder. Okay. Still don't think the Kings defense has improved. Coop says. We'll see what that looks like. I have not watched this team play during the preseason yet, so I'm a little hesitant. That's why I didn't take the points with them either, because I don't feel like I don't have enough yet with them. LJ says, what about Sabonis rebounds plus assists? Let's go to check out Sabonis rebounds and assists real quick. Sabonis rebounds and assists. Sabonis. And we got one more game, and we'll get up anybody that got any questions or thoughts. Sabonis rebounds and assists. Looks like the line is 19.5. Juice to the over on FanDuel minus 122. From a head-to-head perspective, they played 3 times last season. He went up and over 2. He had 20 and 23 rebounds plus assists. He had 15 potential assists with 10 assists in one of these games. And to go along with 10 rebounds. The other game he had 15 rebounds, 15 potential assists. 10 potential assists with 8 actual assists. So yeah, I couldn't talk you off this. Him to go up and over. Interested to see if the offense changes any with DeMar DeRozan. Did he just put DeMar DeRozan in the corner? It don't feel like you could put DeMar DeRozan in the corner and him not to play, a little bit of ISO ball, which that's going to be the interesting thing to see how they can utilize him. I've read some articles and it sounds like he's bought in. It sounds like the team really values, his thought process of the game, him being a vet, his leadership, all of his accolades. But I'm interested to see. I will be locked into this game, see how DeMar DeRozan fits early here on this team. Pistons definitely look good. Spirit says. Mark says, I like Minnesota team, but I think they need a few games to get it to work the chemistry out. Kings +1 and over. I think they'll be running at home. I agree with that, Mark. I do really want to get there with the Kings today. It's probably one of my favorite bets for today. Mitch says Gobert going wild versus a bonus with rebounds, cleared 12.5 line in 6 of his last 7. Okay, that's nice. 1 by 30 against team they're playing. That's the capital P. Yeah. The previous matchup, not the previous game. Got you, GLB. Prolific says, just FYI, Jay is on the Nuggets. Oh, man, why you tell me that, Prolific? Because I want to be on the opposite side. I actually, I love Jay Show. I love Ski Show. Those probably 2 of my favorite sports, 2 guys that I have the most respect for in sports betting in general. But I don't watch their shows until I come up with my own analysis. I won't check Jay Shows out or Ski Shows until I've done all the work. And then I'll check out and see what they on. I have not bet that game, but we're gonna slide there though. Definitely gonna slide there. Mark says, Chris, you and Ski with Cal today. I don't know if Ski gonna be on, but I will be with Cal in probably about 30 minutes at 4:00. I will be there. All right, let's keep going. Last game, we can get ready to wrap up. Thunder versus Nuggets, man. I talked about this one last week for people who remember tuning into, I think it might have been open tonight. It was, but I really wanted to get there with OKC in this spot. This was an OKC spot in my opinion. The thing that really kind of kept me off of it, and I didn't play it, is the depth for the Oklahoma City Thunder in this spot. For people who don't know, the Dallas Mavericks, the Denver Nuggets don't have anybody in the injury report. You got a clean injury report. Starting lineup is going to be primarily the same. You just throw Christian Braun in there, and you move KCP, of course, to Orlando. And the bench is going to have to be something that's going to have to be figured out, though, because this bench is going to look totally different. And remember, if we go back to last season, the reason why they lost was, in my opinion, was Jamal Murray numbers decreased a lot. They had no contributions from the bench. Christian Braun numbers dipped a lot from 2 years ago when they were able to beat Miami in the championship to last year. But outside of that, now you got Russell Westbrook on the bench, Julian Strawther, who I am pretty high on. He can't guard anybody, but he is an offensive force. I like him a lot. Peyton Watson out there to kind of lock up and play defense. He'll probably be at the center position, backing up Jokic. And then you do got Sarge out there to kind of spread the floor as well. So the altitude helps. But here's the thing. The Oklahoma City Thunder play well in Denver, man. The only reason I didn't play Oklahoma City in this spot is because of the lack of depth here. The depth really, really kind of scared me a little bit. For people who don't know, Jalen Williams, not Jalen, 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 the big Jalen with the dreads, light-skinned Jalen, that's what I'm light-skinned Jalen will be out, so that hurts, behind the center position. Kendrick Williams also will be out in this matchup as well. Those 2 things really, really just make me think that Jokic is probably about to crush in this game. Not that Chet Holmgren's not a good defender, because he is, but if he gets in early foul trouble, man, it could be a long, long day at the office, man. That scares me a lot in this matchup. I do like OKC though. That's the only way I'm looking to play it. OKC has played Denver really, really well. Of course, this is a divisional game. They beat them last year. I remember being on OKC in one of those games in Denver. They've won the last 3 head-to-head matchups, last 2 in Denver. But like I said, Jalen Williams and Kendrick Williams not being there, that scares me a little bit with the lack of size that they have. I kind of really wanted to get there with Isaiah Joe. He's somebody that really kind of sticks out to me. just because he's going to be like, I think Isaiah Joe is good enough to be in the sixth man of the year running this season, especially if the starters do what they're supposed to do. He's just instant offense off the bench, like microwave type player, come down, really shoot the 3-point ball really well. So that, I guess that's probably my favorite player is Isaiah Joe. Let me just get a number for you guys real quick. I want to say I saw his points at, because I haven't bet it yet, but I want to say I saw Isaiah Joe points at 6.5. I think I'm gonna get there with Isaiah Joe at 6.5. That's a pretty conservative number for a guy. I think, I watched him play in the preseason. He shot the ball well. He's played well against, this Denver team in the past as well. Let's just put some numbers to that real quick. Isaiah Joe, 6.5. Head-to-head matchup. He had 5 last season. He had 12 last season. He had 5 in another matchup. I just think the looks are going to be there for Isaiah Joe today. Just a more of a feel. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Benedict Matthew. Like I think, especially if Alex Caruso's shot isn't falling, like I can see him being out there getting a few more minutes. I like Isaiah Joe at 6.5. I think that's really good value here for Isaiah Joe. And I do lean. I really want to take the points with the Thunder, but I think I'll stay off here. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. Derek says he likes Aaron Gordon at 6 rebounds, averages 8.3 versus OKC last season in 3 games. No Isaiah Hartenstein. OKC has no size for Denver front court. Cleared 2 of the 3 last year. Only miss last year came when he played under 30 minutes. Okay, I like that, Derek. And to your point about the size, I think I was going through and looking at Chet Holmgren. He has a really nice. He has a really nice matchup because Jokic don't play too much defense. But he's a guy that I like a lot today as well. Isaiah Joe points and Chet Holmgren points plus rebound. I think the number is like 24.5 on one book, 25.5 on other books. So shop around. Make sure you're getting the best of the number. But Chet Holmgren I think he's over in 3 of the 4 or 2 of the 3 matchups that he's played against this team so far. Let me just get you guys the numbers on Chet. So if I was playing Chet, it would be points plus rebounds. The number is 24.5, like I said. He played against him 4 times. He's gone up and over 3 times in a row. And because they lack so much size, that's why I like Chet Holmgren here. You just need him to stay out of foul trouble. But Chet Holmgren should play big against Jokic today. He typically plays well in those big matchup games as well. Last 3 games, he's had 28, 30, and 31 points plus rebounds against the Denver Nuggets. Nothing really changes. Same coaches out there, same players out there on both sides. So if he's out of foul trouble, I think it's a big Chet game today to help out SGA, whose point spot sitting at 29.5. A little too rich for my blood, but SGA also plays this team really, really good. And now that they don't have, Christian Braun going to try to guard him, but best of luck to him. I think KCP is a better defender than Christian Braun. They couldn't stop SGA last season. Last season, SGA hit him for 40 and 34. I want to say the 40 actually came in Denver. So, yeah, I kind of like I can see SGA starting the season off really, really well. But favorite 2 props will be Isaiah Joe over at 6.5. I like that one the most. And then we'll go with Chet Holmgren over his 25.5 points per rebound. What's up, RC? Appreciate you. He says late today. Yeah, super late today, bro. LJ says OKC finally a consistent rebounder with Hardenstein and Caruso can guard on the perimeter, takes pressure off SGA. I agree with that. Marie says Gordon rebounds was at 5.5 and moved up to 6.5. Okay. Derek says Chet foul trouble scared me off over 16, but he cleared that 3 or 4 times last season. Love it. Rawa says, what's that 5.5 on BetMGM? Isaiah Joe? I see 6.5 at minus 125 on BetMGM for Isaiah Joe points. That's what you're talking about. All right, cool. So let's get into anything that you guys have that you want to offer here. Let's go over to the Twitter Spaces and get a couple guys up and see what they have to offer for us here, man. All right, let's see. Let's see what we have here real quick. All right, so quick. No, I won't even do that yet. Let me figure out what I'm trying to do, get my life together, and then we'll get started. So, Godspeed, I got you up first, bro. Talk to me, man. Hope all is well with you. What's going on? What you liking? I know you're a big OKC fan. What's going on?
Yo, what's good, Chris? How you been?
I'm good, bro. I can't complain at all, man. How about yourself?
That's great, bro. Just staying out the way, man. Ramping up for NBA season, and it's finally here. So, yeah, my Thunder played basketball today. With the player today, I'm gonna share it up top. I love SGA today. His points, but the 29-5, 30.5 is a little bit too high, in my opinion, for opening day. But like you said, I don't think they have anybody that can guard them. But it's just opening day, so I didn't play it. I played the threes at 1.5 plus 135 on that 365. Now, a lot of y'all probably think they ain't Shea probably. Last season he wasn't shoot threes like that. But if you watch him in the Olympics and if you watch him in the preseason, and you see he been working on his pull-up three, bro. His jump shot is way more smooth. Like I said, I don't really try to base too much off of preseason, but I could say with Giddey out of there, we gonna see the ball more in Jalen Williams and Shay's hand even more. I can see an uptick in 3-point volume and percentage over the last 3 years. His 3-point percentage has constantly increased. In the preseason, he shot 7 for 11, and he hit his 1.5 threes in the first half in every one of those preseason games. So he's gonna be playing a full game. I think it's gonna be a close game tonight. I like him to cover his threes at 1.5 plus 135. I can see him taking anywhere 4 or 5, maybe 6 threes per game this season with that volume. I like that 1.5. So I like that. And then I got a little SGP I'll share with y'all. I love Chet. I will say this. Don't worry too much about the foul trouble. In my SGP, the odds is plus 820 or 840. I like Chet for 15 points. I can't knock you off the PR without Hartenstein. He gonna have to rebound. In his 3 games versus Jokic, his fouls, he's only his most recent he had 1, and he had 3, and then he had a game with 2. So he didn't get in foul trouble versus Nikola Jokic in none of his 3 matchups. He do get up for these big games. So I like Chet for 15 points. I like MPJ for 15 points. Without Caldwell Pope, MPJ gonna have to be more than just a spot-up shooter, bro. You're gonna have to develop some type of, you're gonna have to be able to put it on the floor. You the third scoring option behind Jokic and Jamal Murray. He got a good history versus Oklahoma as well. Who's, we give up a lot of threes, and we give up a lot of rebounds. Like you said, Jokic should eat on the glass because we back to OKC from last season on the glass, but without, Jalen Williams, the other one. So y'all like MPJ for 15, and then just Aaron Gordon. I think you read a comment. Somebody said something about Aaron Gordon rebounds. That's a great read. I put him for 6, and then I just put Shea for 6 assists. Like I said, MPJ, Chet 15 points, and then Shea 6 assists, and Aaron Gordon 6 rebounds. I threw my boost on it on FanDuel. It's like a plus 840 or 820. And then, like I said, I like Shea's threes a lot.
Okay, I added the not the SGP, but if you're watching on YouTube, I added the over 1.5 threes for SGA, and I put Godspeed right here beside it because he endorsed it, so you guys can see it. As you're listening over on YouTube as well. Appreciate you, Godspeed. Hope you cash tonight, bro. Impulse, talk to me, bro. What's up, man? How you?
Hey, the NBA is back, man. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear, man. Happy NBA is back. Happy NBA opening week.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for running shows, and as always, man, I'm always the guy to help you, to make sure to remind everyone, like the freaking spaces, like the YouTube. This guy's putting out great content every day. He's in my alerts for a reason. So, Chris, shout out you, man. You're always bringing great content. We love you for that, man.
Appreciate that, Impulse. Same for you. Hey, y'all give Impulse a follow, bro. Like right back at you, bro. Reciprocate that energy for sure. Appreciate you, Impulse. What you liking today?
One play, dipping my toes. I'm keeping it light to start as I'm still developing my new processes. But as you know, I like the weird stuff, and I'm going right at that Celtics matchup and the potential blowout. I'm going with Jason Tatum under 2.5 turnovers with the Celtics money line.
Okay.
You can get it on Bet365 for -120. It's a nice little bankroll builder. I'm playing for 0.6 units to win 0.5 units. That -120 price, I always like it for, close enough to a straight play, because you only have to wager a little bit more to get to your, if you want to win like 0.5 units or 1.2 units to win one. But I like that spot. And actually, if you look at his history, and every win against the Wizards at the Wizards, he's only had max 2 turnovers. He doesn't typically go over this number versus the Wizards, and we know the Wizards are a tanking team. The only way I can see that he doesn't, that he goes over 2.5 turnovers is if he suddenly doesn't give a fuck. And if all everyone's talking about is that he's on some kind of warpath this year, I kind of think he's going to give a fuck. I think we're getting a pretty high line too, because he had the most passes, and he typically leads the team in passes, but he also is decent at taking care of the ball. You only have 1 turnover versus the Knicks, and the Knicks are usually a decently good defensive team, but I think they also, obviously the reigning threes. If Celtics are hot from threes, not many passes need to be made. It's usually just 1 pass away and just shooting over guys. So, really like that. It's just kind of a unique little play. I love my weird stuff. So
it was Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum under 2.5 turnovers, right?
Yeah, under 2.5 turnovers
with the money line.
So it's a bit juiced. So you pair it with Celtics money line, and you get to -120.
I mean, that's a hell of a play, and I think those are the plays, Impulse, that you probably want to make at the beginning of the season, right? Like not too sharp stuff. Like I love that. I love that you put those two things together. That makes a ton of sense. I'm probably going to end up telling you that. I like that a lot, bro. Appreciate you, Impulse.
Yeah, and in Bet365, I used to hate this book because it was never available anywhere, but it's pretty much available anywhere. DraftKings is FanDuel's all available. I don't think there's many states that doesn't have it, and I highly recommend it because they're one of the few places that lets you SGP stocks. We love talking about our stocks, and I personally, that's how I got pretty famous with NBA and NFL is my defense, but I really hated betting just steals or just blocks because of how often the NBA, how subjective that market is. So the fact that you can SGP turnovers and stocks on Bet365, highly encourage checking out that book. They are pretty quick to limit, but take advantage of it while you can, kind of thing.
Absolutely, and these lines are only going to get sharper. So if you got to look, you definitely want to go ahead and shoot your shot now. It's a gambling at the end of the day, no matter how confident we feel about it. So definitely appreciate that insight and all the knowledge, Impulse, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you around. Hopefully we can get you back up here soon.
Absolutely, man. I hope to be a lot more in quotes. A lot this season, so hope to be definitely joining their spaces almost every day, man. I appreciate you.
My guy, absolutely, Impulse. Keith, what's going on, bro? Talk to me.
Chris, what's going on, man? You guys hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear, man. How you doing?
Nice. I'm doing great, man. How about yourself?
I'm great, man. I'm doing great, bro. No complaints at all. What you liking for today? Talk to us.
Literally just got a phone call. Came out a market. I gotta go back and listen. The Wolves just gave up 72 points in the game, and I'm getting a 1 block plus 120 points on. 1 block for the entire Lakers. Not saying the Lakers not attempting to score, but giving up 72 points in paint against a defensive player of the year just got mocked by a few things in the post-game interviews. Listen, you got to get now you got more versus in the mix, so that clearly means there's more interior shots being made. But
if you drop, I love what you were saying, but you dropped. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Might have gotten another phone call. Oh, you good? You back now?
Yeah, when I'm on taking one blocks up, I took a stab at probably my favorite streak after the night. Miles Turner's blocks last night.
Okay.
And I took it as soon as I heard the commentator say this is your turn for Miles Turner. Look how far it's going. I'm like, something tells me it's going to happen. my part. So I'm going right to a market that I'm successful with left. Rudy Gobert blocks his cash out. 4 straight matchups, 5 straight matchups versus the Kings. 1 plus money.
Okay. 1.5 at plus money for Rudy Gobert. I actually like that a lot too, Q. I like that a lot, man. I'm gonna jot that down real quick and just do a quick recap. That was Rudy Gobert over 1.5 blocks, and getting that plus money is crazy. Appreciate you, Keith, for dropping the look off, man. Best of luck to you tonight. Absolutely, bro. Right back at you. And this was Impulse. All right, so something that also kind of like I love the looks that all 3 of these guys have kind of laid out. And if you're watching on YouTube, I do encourage people to watch on YouTube because I'm gonna type these up here so you guys can see them. Rudy Gobert over 1.5 blocks. This is what this should say, blocks. The thing I wanted to mention real quick is something that Mitch put in the chat. This Jordan Poole, I'm trying to find the best number real quick, but Jordan Poole assists is at 6.5. Like I can't make that make sense. I see it juiced. It's like minus 145 on Bet365, but when has Jordan Poole started getting 7 assists? Like against this Boston defense, like I'm just having a hard time here trying to figure out why the number is even that high. See, head to head, he played him 3 times last season, had 2, 5, and 4. Yeah, I love this. I think I'm going to tell this play right here. Shout out to my guy Mitch. Jordan Poole under 6.5 assists. I'll drink the juice. You only drink the juice if you lose. So yeah, I'll drink the juice here for Jordan Poole, and I like this under 6.5 assists in that game against the Boston Celtics as well. So we'll go there for sure. Like I'll be telling you there, Mitch. Not giving it out because it's not my official play, but if you're listening in, I will be on that with Mitch. That makes a ton of sense to me. And that's also with like him having to be like the point guard. I'm still cool with that. What's up, Stocks and Sneaks? Appreciate you for tapping in. Adonis likes Keegan Murray over 2.5 threes. Sounds like he's a popular guy today, which I couldn't talk anybody off. Makes a ton of sense. Just getting into a quick recap as we kind of round out the show for myself. Oh, also, I want to talk about Thursday Night Football. I know it's an NBA show, but I have been capping NFL and sharing plays, doing a propcast with Munoz on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, giving out plays to members on the YouTube channel as well. And it's just something that I really, really love a lot this week. A lot today in general. So I've already played this. I haven't sent it out to the members yet. But my favorite prop, I'm gonna give you guys one prop real quick, and then I'm gonna do a recap of NBA and I'm gonna get off here. My favorite prop for today in the Thursday Night Football game between the Rams and the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Minnesota Vikings is Sam Darnold. It's under on his pass attempts. The number is 31.5. I got it at minus 108 on FanDuel. I think the number is while they try to like price these numbers like pretty close to where he's been, like where these quarterbacks have been passing the ball, like with the amount of attempts, Sam Darnold has not thrown the ball 32 times in 15 straight games. So every single game this season, he has not had to throw the ball 32 times. Only one quarterback so far against this Rams defense has actually thrown the ball 32 times, and that was Gardner Minshew last week. But the game script, in my opinion, is going to be Minnesota runs the football. I think they have a lot of success here with Aaron Jones out the backfield. And I think, Minnesota also doesn't play fast. They only attempting 27.5 passes per game from Sam Darnold so far this season, which is the 3rd fewest in the NFL. So I did play Sam Darnold under his 31.5 pass attempts as well. What's up, Impulse? I see your hand up. I'll go back to you real quick.
Yeah, just playing into that as well. I saw some people taking a contrarian view going Aaron Jones under, and while I can kind of see that dude's been killing it this year.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
His line was at 67.5 yesterday.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, man. That's a low line. And I don't know if you've seen, I've been doing a NFL gambling stream as well with my buddy, the painting scientist, and he's doing the ladder challenge with me for some fun. He's on day 4 of the ladder challenge, and he's doing Aaron Jones over 67.5 rushing yards.
I got notes for it, Impulse. I got notes for it because that was something I gave out as well. It's not my favorite bet, but yeah, over in 6 of his last 8 games with at least 93 rushing yards in each one of them, line only sitting at 67. The Rams ranked 30th in rush yards allowed at 152 per game, which is the third most in the NFL. They're 30th in rush attempts per game, giving up 4.7 yards per carry, which is also 23rd. Like, there's nothing good about this Rams defense. So I'm with you, Impulse. I got notes for that one too, bro.
Absolutely love it. So I just wanted to tag.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, man. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. I know that the spaces weren't as big as they typically are. If you join late, you can definitely jump over on YouTube and rewatch the whole entire thing if you're interested. I did share the looks, here as well. And I'll get back into just a quick recap. I have not bet a game yet today, though. Like, I don't have a bet in. But if I'm playing anything, it's Derek White threes, which we talked about. I gave you guys the handicap for that. If I'm playing a spread, it's Sacramento plus the 1, and it's probably OKC plus the 2. But I did not play either one of those. I like Isaiah Joe over his 6.5 points. That is what that should say. It just says 6.5. And I also like Chet Holmgren. As long as he can stay out of foul trouble, I think he goes up and over the 24.5 points plus rebounds in a big game against Jokic. He just tends to get up for these games. So that'll be the show for today, man. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. I think it's 4 or 5 games on the slate for tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and jump into those. I got 2 more shows that I'm going to do for today. So, yeah, I appreciate everybody for tapping in. Best of luck on all your action for today. And I'll catch you guys. Resources, I always talk about these, but OzJam and Moneyballer, definitely check these out if you guys have not. There's a referral code for both of these over on YouTube in the description of the video. And that'll be it. If you're still watching, do me a favor, hit the like button for me on the way out. I will catch you guys in the next one, back live in the morning, early, 7:45, 8 o'clock. We're trying to get to the money early, man. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Y'all be good. Enjoy the basketball games tonight. I'll catch you guys in the next one.